بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وعلى من تبع هداهم إلى يوم الدين. Indeed, all praises due to Allah, and may peace and blessing be upon His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Without any further delay, I do apologize for traffic actually. I'm supposed to be here well before 6, but the traffic pushed it about 20 minutes later. SubhanAllah. So we go to the, when we finished last time, we finished the Umrah. We finished the Umrah. And we are about now to start the Hajj. So we are in a state of no ihram, because we took off the ihram in the Umrah. And we are actually in Mecca at the moment. Right, so basically, you did tamattu, you completed the Umrah, and now remain in a state of Hil, which is no ihram, until the day of Tarwiyah, which is the 8th of the Hijjah. While in Mecca, use your time wisely. Try to attend Jama'ah prayer, even though it is not compulsory on you as a traveler. But the congregation prayer is always multiplied by at least 27 times. As for the prayer itself, for verily it is 100,000. So if you have missed the Jama'ah in the Haram, try to make an effort to pray in the Haram. So if you miss the Dhuhr, you go and pray in the Haram the Dhuhr on your own, but because you're a traveler, you pray 2 rak'ah. Because the prayer there in the Haram is 100,000, and it is only in the Haram, and it's only for the Fard prayer. Only what multiplies is the Fard. And what multiplies is inside the Haram. And I'm saying this because some people will tell you in any masjid in the Mecca will be okay. That's not correct, because of the hadith of the wife of the Prophet, which is the Masjid al-Kaaba, the Masjid of the Kaaba itself. That's the multiple. Always take a sutra when you pray on your own. If you pray behind the Imam, you don't need the sutra. Sutra is a shield that you pray to it, which we have explained in our class regarding the prayer. Make optional tawaf as much as possible. For the non-Makkiyin, the one who does not live Mecca, it's better than voluntary prayer. Do not exhaust yourself. Each tawaf you do consists of 7 rounds, followed by 2 rak'ah behind the maqam. So when you start one round, you can't just say, I want to relax. Unless it's an obligatory prayer, or you want to go to the restroom, then you go, you come back to your point, and then you continue that tawaf. 7 rounds, you have to make it 7 rounds, then 2 rak'ah behind the maqam. There is no al-diba' and ramal, if you remember, there's no exposing the right shoulder. Because you're close, there's no jogging in between the 3 rounds between the black stone and the hajar, the rakn al-imam, the Yamani corner. Keep yourself busy with salah, recitation of the Quran, tawaf. Okay? Also other ibadah, because if you're staying in the days of the Hijjah, the first day of the Hijjah you could fast. Any days that you like. Not the day of Arafah. For the day of the Arafah, for the pilgrims, they don't fast, it's better for them not to fast. But other days, because you're not really yet, you are in a state of Hil, no Ihram. So don't neglect that sort of ibadah. And also do not walk in between somebody who's praying and his sutra. If he has got no sutra, avoid his prostration spot. But don't say there is no sutra in the Haram. And when entering the masjid, try to pray 2 rak'ah before, if you want to sit down. So if you want to sit down, pray 2 rak'ah of Tahiyyat al-Masjid. If you intend to sit down, be aware of professional beggars. They know how to tell stories and they know how to cry. This is the congregational prayer. This is to show you a glimpse of the crowd in between the hotels. Okay, this is the Hijr. If you can, pray 2 rak'ah in the Hijr, it's like praying inside the Kaaba. The Hijr, which we call it the Hashim, the Hatim, is part of the Kaaba. Okay, and Quraysh did not build it. Later on was built by Abdullah ibn Zubayr, but later on demolished by Hajj and rebuilt like this. It's supposed to be this inside the Kaaba. Right. Performing multiple umrahs while staying in Mecca, before or after Hajj. Some pilgrims and decide to make multiple umrah sometimes in the same day. This practice has no foundation, whether from the Prophet or his companions. Repeating the umrah incurs the hardship and causes so many pilgrims to miss their fard prayer because of their tiredness. The exception for making umrah to other people is for the following categories. A deceased person. Deceased person has to fulfill the following condition. And that person, when he was alive, he was incapable physically or incapable financially, or he was capable financially but incapable physically, and he did not push the money, just death came to him, or he was capable physically and financially, but the death came before he made his Hajj. But any person who had everything ability and he did not want to make Hajj because he doesn't bother about Hajj, I can't make Hajj on his behalf. So this person decided what is in his lifetime, he doesn't want to make Hajj anyway. So it isn't going to help him to make Hajj after his death. So that deceased has to be a person who had the intention to make the Hajj. Something that prevented him, whether it is his capability or whether it is to do with the death that came suddenly and he did not make his Hajj. Second category, person who is alive but he cannot make Hajj. It's not because of his poverty. He cannot make a Hajj because of his physical ability. So he could make Hajj with his money. If he's not financially capable, there's no Hajj on him anyway. He's not required to make Hajj. But if he's financially capable and physically incapable, he could just pay money to somebody to make Hajj on his behalf. And here, I already mentioned that last time, that if he got healthy before that person who he had deputized reached the miqat, he has to tell him. So if the doctor said, "You're okay now," so he has to call the person whom he had been deputized to make Hajj on his behalf. If he caught him before he had made talbiyah, labbaik Allahumma bi Hajj, or labbaik Allahumma bi Umrah, then that person cannot make Hajj on his behalf. If he caught him after he had made that, "Sorry brother, I made the talbiyah on your behalf," then this will suffice for his obligatory Hajj, which is needed for his lifetime. Okay? So if he caught him after he said it, alhamdulillah, Allah will be able to make Hajj on his behalf. He did make Hajj voluntarily later on, but his obligatory has been fulfilled. Third one, a vow. A person made a vow. After, for example, he made a vow, he could make Umrah from there. So these people, while I'm in Haram, I made my Umrah, I'm waiting to go to Hajj. I want to make a Hajj or Umrah on behalf of my father because he died. I want to make it on his behalf. I could do it. Somebody who's sick but he can't make it, I could do it. Somebody who's made a vow, I made a vow myself, I could do it. And I don't have to go to the miqat. I go to the hill, any area, which is the Tan'im, or the Nakhla, or the Arafah, or Adah Libn, okay, or Ji'rana, all these places indicating the Haram. But for yourself, again, it was not being done by the Prophet, nor by the companions. Now coming to the Hajj, step by step. The summary, 8th Dhul Hijjah, we go to Mina. So make the Ihram, close to the Ihram, and make the Talbiyah of the Ihram, go to Mina. The 9th of Dhul Hijjah, the day of the Arafah. And then during the night, we go to Muzdalifah. 10th of Dhul Hijjah, we will make the following: the Rami, the Nahr, slaughtering. The slaughtering you have 4 days, and the Halq, the shaving, Tawaf al-Ifadah, and Sa'i al-Ifadah. Now, Tawaf al-Ifadah, Sa'i al-Ifadah are pillars. What is the throwing of the Jamarat, the Nahr, and the shaving are obligatory acts. So if you have missed Tawaf al-Ifadah or Sa'i al-Ifadah, as some of the scholars have said, then your Tawaf al-Ifadah will nullify your Hajj. If you have to do it. You can postpone it, but you have to do it. Same thing if you miss the day of Arafah, you're finished. The 11th and the 12th and the 13th, the days of the Hijjah, they are the day of throwing the pebbles. You throw 3 Jamarat, that means 7, 7, 7 on each day, as we're going to be seeing inshallah. Lastly, which is the Tawaf al-Wada', the farewell Tawaf. Okay? So this is the summary. Let's go down to the site. This is Mecca. And the Haram, the Kaaba, you can see the Kaaba there, little spot. Okay, and that is Mina. This is Muzdalifah, and this is Arafah. These are the places of Hajj. That's it. Within a circumference of 14 months. That's it. Hajj is here. Nowhere else. Hajj is in those areas. Right. So this is Aziziyah, where people sometimes say Aziziyah, next to Mina. This is for the shifting package, they call it, which is cheaper than the non-shifting. Jamarat area. This is Jamarat, and this is Masjid Al-Khif, where 70 prophets had prayed. So you had a chance to pray there. Mash'al al-Haram, where the Prophet stood in Muzdalifah. And Masjid Namira, where the Khutbah al-Arafah is always delivered from there, Masjid Namira. Masjid Namira is part of it in Arafah, part of it in outside Arafah. Namira is not Arafah, it's next to Arafah. This is, they call it the Mountain Mercy, and I don't really have any trace for it in the book of the Sunnah. Jabal al-Rahmah. There's no trace for it. But any people think that Adam descended down and he came from heavens onto that mountain, that's incorrect. Okay, now let's just go by the distances. Just to show you a distance here. Between Mecca, let me just put my laser pen here. Okay, this one, between Mecca and the Jamarat area, it's about 3 miles. Between the Jamarat area and Muzdalifah, and that's where you camp, by the way. The Europeans, most of the Europeans, they camp here at the end. It's about 2 miles. So when you go from your camp to Jamarat, it's 2 miles. Some of the camps are a bit more expensive. Their camps are next to the Jamarat. So close that some of the people made a joke, you could throw his Jamarat from his camps. But if you have your Jamarat there, camp, it makes it a lot easier. Different world. Now, here we have, that is the distance between the end of Mina to the area which is Mash'al al-Haram, 1.5 miles. You don't have to stay in Mash'al al-Haram, but that's the sunnah of the Prophet of Allah. You could do in any Muzdalifah. From there to Arafah, which is to that place, is about 4 miles. So this is basically the distances. Now let's just, from Mecca to Mina, there are ways of going by tunnels and by pedestrians. So you have, this is through the tunnels. See how short it is, they make it? This is by roads as well. Right, the tunnels come from this side. So they go underneath. One going and one coming. Right, now, just like we have said the last time regarding Ihram, coming from outside A, then you declare it from there, from B, from the same B, and if you are in C, then from inside. All of you are going to be in C, because you have finished your Umrah, you're in Mecca. So you declare your state of Ihram on the 8th day from your hotel. So you put your Ihram clothes, okay, and in your hotel, labbaik Allahumma bi Hajj, and you go to Mina. Fine. You do the same thing as you did in the Ihram for your Umrah, labbaik Allahumma bi Hajj. Before labbaik Allahumma bi Umrah, or labbaik Allahumma bi Umrah mutamatti'an biha ila al-Hajj. Now, you continue this talbiyah until the 10th day of the Hijjah. It is recommended to add the following words straight after you have said the talbiyah. Allahumma hajjatan la riya fiha wa la sum'a. Allahumma mahilli haythu habasta. Those are the words. We have mentioned them before, so I don't need to go explain them again. Now this is Mina. Going to Mina in the morning. Yawm al-Tarbiyah, 8th of the Hijjah. Some people, they've got the shifting package, so they leave to Mina during the night of the 7th, night of the 8th, which is the night before. And they keep asking, what should we do? Can we make the intention of going to Mina the night before and do it? Yes, but it's not the Sunnah. The Sunnah is to do it on the 8th day, after sunrise, in the morning. 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, just before Dhuhr. But these people done it the night before. So they could declare state of Ihram from that night and no problem. In that, you pray Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, and also Fajr. So 5 daily prayers. Pray them, 2 Dhuhr, 2 Asr, and 3 Maghrib stays, 2 Maghrib, Isha, and 2 Rak'ah of Fajr. No combination. Each one in its time. Pray Jama'ah with your brothers there in the camp. But I will tell you something better. If it is better for you to, because this is the day when you could go to Masjid al-Khif. Other days maybe it's going to be difficult because of the throwing. Now there's no throwing in Jama'ah at this day. Most of the Hajjaj, I will not say most, more than 50% of the Hajjaj, they're not in Mina. They're in Arafah. Some of them they skip Mina because they tell them Mina is Sunnah. SubhanAllah. Wallahi, it is the Sunnah of the Prophet, but it is wajib. So they skip that and they go to where? To Arafah. So you have more space for you. So you can go to what? To Masjid al-Khif and pray there. So if your leader there takes you over 70 prophets, you only know 25. Prophet says 70 prophet prayed there in Masjid al-Khif. I'll show you Masjid al-Khif in a minute. Spending the night in Mina is wajib, compulsory. Use your time to gather your thoughts and prepare for the next day. This is Masjid al-Khif. Okay, 70 prophets have prayed in that masjid. It's a huge masjid, huge, and I'm telling you the word huge. Right, let's just give you an overlook of Mina. That's Mina. That's Muzdalifah. And that's direction to Mecca. This is Aziziyah. And this is the Jamarat. Now I've got an image of Jamarat, which is the old one. This is before they built it 4 floors. Under the construction. This is Masjid al-Khif, next to the Jamarat, it's not far away. It's only about what? 10 minutes, 5 minutes walk. And Wadi Muhassa, this is the valley here. This valley, there's nothing building there in it. This valley indicates where the elephants were struck. Not the Ibrah al-Ashra, when he brought the elephants to destroy the Kaaba, this is where they were destroyed, in this valley. So if you know what it is, and you pass it on foot, then you go faster. If you know what it is, and you went on foot, you pass it faster, because it's the area of what? Punishment. This is a slaughtering house. Okay, some people walk it, but of course you're going to be with your camp. Alhamdulillah, everything's available now. Okay, leaving Mina for Arafah. After sunrise, not before sunrise. So you pray the Fajr, you stay to sunrise. On the day of Arafah, you're going to be departing to Arafah while making Talbiyah or Takbir. So this is, you're going to be to go to Arafah and you don't have to worry. You're going to be in Arafah. So I don't understand why these people, they go to Arafah the day before, but it's everything easy. But subhanAllah, they don't want to have the hardship for more rewards. If it was football match, they'll travel for it. And they'll sleep the night before. But for Mina, Sunnah. Throw it. But this is Arafah. Arrive at Arafah before Zawal, before Zawal, before Dhuhr, if possible. Now, if you look at the image here, it shows you the amount of ignorance in this ummah. How many people there on the mountain? All of those are ignorant. It's a sign of ignorance. Any person climbing that, definitely he did not have anything to do with knowledge. He didn't sit down and learn. He took it from others, or he's stubborn, I want to go there. Some of them even go, they think that Adam descended on this post. I think. And that's why when you go there, I went there not in the day of Arafah, on other days in Umrah, just to show the people. People write their name. It's like they're posting letters to Allah Azza wa Jalla. They put their names there. Have you seen that? Yeah. And the government keeps painting them. Painting them. So it's a joke. This is called a joke. These people, what are they doing? They're not really children. They're not adult. They're doing. Children, it's not kid stuff. This is old kid stuff. Old people kid stuff. Why are these people going there? They might break their arm, break their leg. I don't know, they got a scorpion, maybe stung them or something. The Prophet did not go there, no companion did not go there. So why is it? They don't listen. Now look, this is what it says what? Qibla direction. Can you see that? You'll find these there in Arafah a lot. Qibla direction. Can you see that? Yeah. What did the Prophet say? He said, all Arafah is standing. You could call upon Allah in any place in Arafah. But he himself, he was here, in this area. He made the sakharat, the rock, the huge rocks in that area. He made them behind him, so he was underneath, on the ground. He had the rocks behind him, and he faced the Qibla. and started making dua. So if you have a person who's a leader in your camp, and he's willing to teach the people, he could take them to that area to show them in Arafah. Last year I took my people from my camp, the ones who had accepted, and some of them I declined to take them because of their physical sort of ability. So I don't want to drag them. So it's a walk, maybe it's a walk about half a mile, but still half a mile like this. And I don't want to lose them as well. So I took about 13, 14 people with me, mashallah, fit, agile. And we went there. And we stayed with me the dua in that area. But we saw all sorts of ignorance. What? People going onto the mountain and praying there. You understand? They're offering a rak'ah, 2 rak'ah. I don't know, tahiyyat al-mountain. Tahiyyat al-jabal. Tahiyyat al-mountain. Wallahi. I keep telling them, what is tahiyyat al-mountain, akhi? They don't listen to me. 2 rak'ah, welcome in the mountain. And then when the person does it, another person sees him. Allahu Akbar. It's like Allah said, "O people, follow people." There's no such hadith or ayah, "O people, follow people." أيها الناس اتبعوا الناس. What's this? This is hadith Rawahu Abbas ibn Firnas. You know about this? Hadith, which is not hadith of the Prophet, but Abbas ibn Firnas maybe narrated it. Abbas ibn Firnas is the person who's known as the wanted to fly. So he put some wings for himself, the first person to fly, and he went and then he dropped dead. Okay? So maybe somebody like him narrated such a thing, but not the Prophet of Allah. All people follow people. Wallahi, who has been to Arafah on the day of Arafah? Who's been to that mountain on the day of Arafah? What do you think of that? Did you see people praying there?
No, actually.
You have? Huh? No, not all the time. Just where there? Anybody saw many people praying there on that mountain? Anyone? You saw people praying? How many people? Lots of people. I don't know where you can see them. Lots of people. And the people, when they pray, other people say, "Oh, there are a lot. They must be correct. They must be right." That's why there are a lot of people. They can't be wrong, all of them. So, Allahu Akbar. Some of them, I talk to them and pray. Actually, why are you praying? What are you praying? Tahiyyat al-mountain? Doesn't listen to you. Doesn't listen to you. So what do they need? Do they need what? Stick of Umar. With the stick of Umar, Umar Khattab was there. He'll beat them up. He will teach them. Then there is no salah like this. And they pray. I've seen as well about the sun is about reddish. But sunset.
The brother is saying even if it's not Hajj time, you go there and still pray.
Yeah. Every time. Allahumma musta'an. طيب. Excellence of the day of Arafah. The Prophet ﷺ, he said the day of Arafah is the day. Number one, we know that Allah spoke to Musa alayhi salam. وَوَعَدْنَا مُوسَى 30 لَيْلَةً وَأَتْمَمْنَاهَا بِعَشْرٍ. Number two, we know that the day of Arafah is the day upon which Allah completed our religion. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. A Jewish person called Ka'b ibn Mata, Ka'b al-Ahbar, did not embrace Islam at the time of the Prophet. He embraced Islam at the time of Umar al-Khattab. He was a Jewish rabbi, but he studied the Quran more than some of the Muslims, unfortunately. He came to Umar al-Khattab as the leader of the believers. He said, "Ya Amir al-Mu'minin," who are the believers? He said, but he's not a Muslim. He said, "Ayatun fi kitabikum," a verse in your book, because he was a Muslim to not a book. لو نزلت علينا معشر اليهود, it was revealed to us, the Jews, and it's Jewish. We would have taken that day upon which that verse was revealed as a Eid day. Umar al-Khattab said, "Which verse are you talking about?" اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. Today I have completed your religion for you, and I have completed my favors upon you, and I chose Islam to be your religion. And by the way, this is not verse number 1 in the Quran, nor it is in the first chapter of the Quran. This is chapter 4, Surah Al-Ma'idah. And it is verse, not the first verse, the third verse. So this person, the Jewish, he did not go, for example, open the book like the Holy Spirit here, got to that verse. He must have been reading until he reached that verse. Oh, that verse is, even it's not the beginning of the verse, it's in the Middle of a verse. And yet he spotted something about this verse which some of the Muslims did not spot it. And he said, this verse, if it was revealed to us the Jews, the day upon which it was revealed, Eid. He said, I remember which day, Uncle Bari said, which day the verse was revealed. It was revealed unto the Prophet ﷺ when he was in Arafah, that means he was doing his Hajj. So it's the day of Arafah. And it happens to be the day of Jumu'ah. That's why Abdullah ibn Abbas said, نزلت في يوم عيدين. It revealed it was in 2 days of Eid. Jumu'ah and Arafah happens to be, and by the way, when Arafah happens to be the day of Jumu'ah, it doesn't mean that this Hajj is 7 Hajji. Some other people, they said, it would multiply by 7. This is a holy Hajj, Al-Hajj al-Akbar. But it happened on that day that Jumu'ah and Arafah was happened to be one day. Also on this day, every year Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding the angels of what they have said when Allah created Adam. أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك. Are you, Lord, taking to make a creature that will spread the blood and spill the blood and spread the corruption while we glorify you? قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلم. He said to them, I know what you know. This is what they don't know. So he comes down, which is a descendant to His Majesty. We don't know how he comes down. And before his angels, he boasts about those people who came to Arafah. And including those people who go to that mountain. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he would say, look at my slaves. So it's like, look at those who are the children of that creature who's going to spill blood. Look at those slaves. Look, it's commanding them. Unzuru, look at my slaves. They're coming from far and near. With uncombed hair, they're not coming, to look at themselves in the mirror. With faces covered with dust, they're going to be covered with everything. Seeking my mercy, they're asking for my forgiveness. By Allah, if their sins, this is a hadith, I'm going to lump it for another hadith. He said, if their sins, to be as many as the particles of the sand, or as many as the drops of the rain, but I've forgiven them all. Oh, so this is, we call it يوم العتق من النيران. This is the day upon which Allah Azza wa Jalla freed more than any other day people from the hellfire. ما من يوم أكثر من أن يعتق الله فيه عبدا من النار من يوم عرفة. No other day. They've Arafah. So it's a great day. So some people are spending in chit-chatting. Is it Hajj? Or arguing? Wasting time. You want to be what? You dua and dua. That's what you need to do. So, pray Dhuhr and Asr. Now, this is combined, not like in Mina. You're going to be making combination. Dhuhr and Asr. And this is after a khutbah. If you are in Masjid Namira, you will hear to the khutbah of Namira. But if you are somewhere else, don't attempt to go and link yourself to the Masjid Namira and start to listen to the sermon and make that sermon for you. Because the sunnah is someone in the camp of yours, make a khutbah. Live khutbah for you. And then after the khutbah, pray 2 rak'ah dhuhr, 2 rak'ah asr. In your tent. Do I advise you to go to Masjid Namira? No, I don't advise you to go to Masjid Namira. Because it's very difficult. Unless you go with somebody who knows. Masjid Namira is going to be full. Why? Because it's already been filled from the day before. It's a 50% from the Hajj. They're not in Arafah, they're in Namira. So it's full already. But Masjid Namira even is bigger than the Masjid of Al-Khif. Huge. Massive. Not all of it in. If you happen to be there, make sure that you are inside the boundaries. Because the first rows, front of the masjid is outside Arafah. The back of the masjid is inside Arafah. Can you see that borderline? That's what it is, borderline. That's outside Arafah. And this is inside Arafah. Right. Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ to join the Dhuhr and Asr, regardless of whether you pray in the masjid, in your camp, or any other location in Arafah. Arafah Salah, or after Salah, move to your place inside the limits of Arafah, stand facing the Qibla, raising your hands, making dua, recite Talmud. You could stand, you could sit down. Stand means like wuquf. Wuquf means it doesn't mean qiyam. That means you are dedicated for that. You may go to the rocks under the mountains of mercy, we have said. Prophet ﷺ, he said, the best that I and the prophets, so the prophets as well, Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and other prophets, did not specify. The best thing that they've said on the day of Arafah, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulku wa lahul hamd, yuhyi wa yumitu ala kulli shay'in qadir. This is Arafah. Let's just go on Google Map for Arafah. Okay, Arafah, that's Masjid Namira, they call it Mountain Mercy, this is Darajat al-Muzdalifah, Wadi Urana, and Wadi Urana links to the Prophet ﷺ's Hajj. When he passed Wadi Urana, he went to Namira. So just to familiarize you with the name, passed Wadi Urana, and he stayed in Namira. Then before entering Arafah, he stayed in Namira, camped there, and then he entered into Arafah. So it's supposed to be that you're doing your Salah in Namira, and then you go to Arafah. But never mind, inshallah, you could do it in Arafah. Leaving Arafah, when the sun set, you have to have portion of the night in Arafah. So when sunset, start moving. And you're going to move in coaches. Some people will walk, but you're going to be moving your coaches. Now, this is the area. Make sure that you do not leave until after sunset. Imam Malik says it's a pillar. You do not stay until sunset, your Arafah is void and your whole Hajj is void. What's the other school? They said it's wajib. Arafah in itself is part of the day and part of the night. So you spend part of the day, you completed the pillar, but not the wajib. The wajib is part of the night as well, even if you seconds. So when you go into the coach, let's say your coach has arrived early. If you have jumped into the coach before sunset, and you made your intention to leave Arafah, you are outside Arafah even though you are physically, body-wise, inside Arafah. Do you understand that? You have to make an intention to leave after sunset, even though that you're prepared and you've got your seat onto the coach. But some of them, they already made their decision to go outside Arafah. Pitfalls, something that is wrong, the people that do it wrong in Arafah, fast the day of Arafah. Prophet of Allah said, fast the day of Arafah is equivalent of sin expiation of what? 2 years. Year before and year after. Very good day. Companions used to see the Prophet of fasting Arafah all the time. But when it came when he was Hajj, companions said, he's fasting. And the one said, no, he's not fasting. Argument between them, fasting, not fasting. So al-Fadl, she wanted to settle the dispute, but she doesn't want to indulge as well in conversation with men. But she could hear them, fasting, not fasting. So she sent with a cup of milk. When the Prophet was in Arafah, during the heat of the day, a cup of milk which is mixed with water. The Prophet didn't accept it, that means what? Fast. He took it, he drank it, what didn't come in front of everybody. The one who said he's not fasting, they won the argument. He's not fasting. So it's not from the Sunnah to fast today. But there's no hadith to say not from the Sunnah to fast Arafah. But we know that this Arafah is a day for you to be in full power and strength in order to make a dua. You don't want to be dizzy because you're hungry. If you're not a pilgrim, yes, recommended for you. Leaving Arafah before sunset is that Imam Malik considered that rukun. And standing outside the limits of Arafah, this is invalidating your whole Hajj. Ascending the Mount of Mercy or facing it during dua, thinking that it has some merit, wasting time in sleeping or around food or idle talking or wandering around for no purpose. Fine. Now we're coming to the hardest night, the night of Muzdalifah. When reaching Muzdalifah, pray Maghrib and Isha, shortening it, Qasr, and joining the two prayers. You may do them without joining if you wish. So if you arrive early, you can do 3 rak'ah Maghrib and you wait until Isha. But most likely, you're not going to have that sort of privilege. You're going to be arriving late, you're going to be Maghrib and Isha. Fine. You do not pray anything between them or after. But always pray witr. But some of the scholars say even witr you don't have to pray. But the Prophet of Allah, we know from other occasions that he always pray witr. But this occasion was not mentioned. Fine. This is the night, we should call it the very hardest night. Sleep until Fajr and you will sleep until Fajr. Believe me. Okay? Pray Fajr at the beginning of its time. Now, it is permissible for those weak women women and weak people or their children to go after midnight, to go to Mina to throw the Jamrah. It's permissible. But if you are with your group, you're stuck with your group, inshallah. And by the way, Jamarat now will be so easy. So easy. Take it easy, inshallah, on yourself. This night, you don't have hotels, nor you have camps. Your hotel is 100-star now. Not 5-star, because all the stars are in front of you, mashallah. In the sky, lots of stars. But you're going to feel the heat, because you're going to be Hajj this year, mashallah. The heat is going to go through your mat, your blanket. Very hot. But because out of tiredness, you will sleep. You have to knock yourself to sleep. Okay? So this is the harvest night. Without no doubt. But you make it Hajj, inshallah. You want to be cleansed from all your sins, you have to pay something. You have to incur some hardship here. Fine. If you are capable to go to Mash'ar al-Haram is a masjid there. You go there and face the Qibla, recite the Takbir Tahleel, and make dua until the sky becomes very bright. Not until sunrise, just before sunrise. Then you leave for Mina before the sun rises calmly while reciting the Talbiyah. Then you leave for Mina for the sun to, and then when you come, if possible, to the river Valley Muhassir, if you know you're walking, then you go and hurry. Okay, let's just give you now Muzdalifah area. That's Muzdalifah. Mina here and Arafah is there. Mina and Muzdalifah stuck to each other. Okay, so that's Mash'ar al-Haram. That's the Mash'ar al-Haram. And that's Wadi Muhassir. There's no camps there. There's no building in it. Right. What are the wrong things that some people do in Arafah and Muzdalifah? Delaying the Maghrib and Isha after middle of the night. Some of the people in Arafah, they're stuck. And they will not be able to arrive in Muzdalifah before midnight. You're not allowed to postpone your Maghrib and Isha for the sake of Muzdalifah. So if you have, like me happened to me last year, I prayed my Maghrib and Isha with the brothers, 11:15 in Arafah. Some of the people said, no, we have to pray it in Muzdalifah. I said, well, you're going to chance it, because the coach, by the time it arrives, you're going to go on top of it, and then by the time it arrives there to Muzdalifah, it's going to be after midnight. And then you lose the time. And by the way, Maghrib and Isha cannot be postponed more than midnight. You have to know that. What is midnight? The mid-time between Maghrib and Fajr. Maghrib now, for example, 9. Fajr, for example, 3:30. From 9 to 3:30 is 6.5 hours. Divide them by 2. That's 3 hours and 15 minutes. Add them to the 9. 12:50. But this 12:15 changes. Sometimes it's 7:30 during the winter season. Midnight. So make sure that you don't think, oh, I can delay my Isha just before Fajr. Incorrect. Up to midnight. Spending the night outside the limits of Muzdalifah, that will incur losing a wajib, compulsory. Thinking that the pebbles should be collected from Muzdalifah. People, instead of going to sleep, start collecting stones in Muzdalifah. And the Prophet collected the stone from Mina as he goes to the Jamarat. Leaving Muzdalifah before Fajr for fear of the crowd is only for the women and the weak people and the children. Staying in, if you are a person who's got weak women and you are healthy, you're allowed to go with your weak women. No problem. Staying in Muzdalifah until after sunrise. Now the sunnah is to leave close to sunrise, not after sunrise. Now we come into the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, the day of the Eid. Arrive at Mina in the morning, and you're going to go maybe to a camp. You're going to go to your camp, and you're going to stay until the authority gives you the go-ahead to make the jarabim. Because on that day you're going to do Rami al-Jamara, throwing the stones, sacrificing the animals, shaving and trimming, Tawaf al-Ifada, Sa'i al-Ifada. Okay? The sunnah is to perform those in that order, in that sequence. Okay? You can even do Sa'i before Tawaf in this category, but you can't do it in Tawaf al-Qudum. We need it in the first time, Tawaf al-Qudum, Tawaf, then Sa'i. But in this, you can make Sa'i before Tawaf. Prophet Allah allowed everything. This before that. Just to make it easy for the people. And that's the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right. Throwing the Jamrat al-Aqaba. The wisdom behind throwing the Jamarat is to follow the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which he had followed the sunnah of whom? Ibrahim alayhi salam. Don't you ever think there is a shaitan there tied up and you are throwing him? Shaitan is not going to be as fool as that, tying up himself and be lining up for you to go and hit him. Okay? And that's why the people end up hitting him with rockets, umbrellas, shoes. Because they think the shaitan is there waiting for them. Actually, the shaitan is making a fool of them to make them to do that. Once you throw him with a little pebble, that's the pebble. Just like a chickpea. Very small. Slightly bigger than the chickpea. Just like that will make him harmed. Because you're following the sunnah. It's not that he's not there for going to make a rock. Let me make a proper wound in him. That's the 7 pebbles. Say takbir while you're throwing each one. So, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. 7 times. 7 pebbles. Now in that jamrah, there's this way of fitting it. The direction is as follows. You face the jamrah like this, like these people. Yeah. And you have on your left direction of Mecca, on your right direction of Mina. This is the way to throw it. You can't throw it from any other direction. It's called Jamrat al-Aqaba. The stone has to fall into the circle. Otherwise, let me just, if you hit that middle post so hard and that stone bounced back, did not fall into the circle, you have to repeat it again. So if you throw it in the circle, that would be better. But if the ball is made to work for 2 reasons. So that when you hit it, that stone will go into the circle. And number 2, it will not go to the what? The other side. Because before, people used to hit each other. Because the jamrah is, I will show you the jamrah looks like. I'll show you the jamrah inshallah. But it's not conditioned nor it is sunnah to hit, the middle post. It is not. You may throw with thrown stones. So you could have stones from the ground. No problem. Don't say, oh, they've been thrown. It can't be good. Some people, subhanAllah, when they collect the stones, they collect them, as I said, and they go and wash them with Zamzam. I don't know why. Need them more power. With energy. Boost them. But some people throw wallah, they put them with Zamzam water. It's not correct. And you could have the Jamarat while you go into the Jamarat. You don't have to worry collecting them. You have plenty of them. Plenty of them. You can end up with lots of Jamarat while you collect them. MashaAllah. Even if you reach the Jamarat itself, you can pick up from the floor. Lots of them, MashaAllah. You see reciting Talbiyah after throwing the last stone. This is the old Jamarat, by the way, look. And you cannot perform the stoning until after sunrise. Even if you are weak or woman, you could leave Muzdalifah after midnight, but to go there and you can't throw until after sunrise, not before. Some people, they do their Hajj before even the day of Hajj started. Midnight, they leave. An hour there, they throw in the Jamarat. Now, then we'll be going Tawaf. This is all of it before Fajr. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, MashaAllah Tawaf. 4 o'clock, shave their head. Already the Qa'dah is slaughtering. Fajr of the Eid, khalas, they finished their Hajj, MashaAllah. All of it incorrect.
No, they're stopping them.
Huh?
They're stopping them to go now.
They're stopping them?
Yeah.
Inshallah. But there are some people can sneak. When you throw this Jamara, everything was unlawful for you becomes lawful except for sexual intercourse. We call it the halal al-awwal. Some scholars have to do 2 with them. Prophet ﷺ, he said, if you threw the Jamara, then you got the hill, the first hill. The first hill means you could take off your clothes, so the ihram clothes, and put the normal clothes. You could make tawaf al-ifada if it was on the same day, not after sunset, with your clothes. You don't have to put the ihram clothes. So you could put perfume, you could have a wash, everything. You need to make tawaf al-ifada before sunset. Otherwise, you have to go into your ihram state, meaning you put your ihram clothes. Now this is animal sacrificial. I'm going to skip this because most of you have deputized it. It's going to be done on your behalf. You're not going to be slaughtering yourself. As soon as you slaughter your hen, nobody will slaughter except for very few people. Okay? So I'm going to skip that. So this is for slaughtering. And then go to the shaving. Now you trimmed your hair for Umrah, you shave for this one. It's exactly what we have said regarding the Umrah. Exactly takes place here as well. Start with the right and the left. Shaving, the women, finger joint. Finger joint. Tawaf al-Ifada, you go to, now you go off that day to Mecca and make Tawaf al-Ifada in the same way that it's Tawaf al-Arrival, except there is no Ramal, there's walk, and there is no uncovering the right shoulder. As before, you finish 7 rounds, and then you go to Maqam Ibrahim, Takhid al-Maqam Ibrahim al-Musalla, and you pray 2 rak'ah. Okay, if you didn't do this tawaf on this day, before sunset, then you need to return to your ihram state and put your ihram clothes, as we have said. If a menses of women did not stop where she must leave with her group, then she has to stay behind with her mahram until she gets cleansed. She cannot put, for example, padded things like some of the scholars have said, and make tawaf with her menses blood. Sa'i, done the same thing before, exactly as we have done before, the sa'i, exactly the sa'i in Marwa, sorry, in Umrah, but this time you're going to be with your clothes. It's not going to be with your ihram clothes. And this is sa'i. It is not to, it is for the muqarin and for the mufrid, you don't have to do the sa'i because you've done it in your Umrah. As for the one who's making tamattu, some of the scholars they said that sa'i of your Umrah would suffice as well, so to be only recommended to do the sa'i. And that's, as I said, the opinion of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah. 11th and 12th of the 13th day, you need to stay there, the days and the nights, as much as you can, throw the 3 jamarat. So most of the scholars consider staying in Mina as compulsory, which is correct. You could go during the night to make tawaf and come back, voluntary tawaf, as the Prophet used to do. So you throw the jamarat in those days, first jamarat, second jamarat, and then the third jamarat. Each jamarat you throw it in the following day. First jamarat you throw it from any direction. Then you go forward towards the second jamarat. In the middle between the first and the second, somehow there, move forward, and you stop. You make dua. The police, the army pushed you. Then go forward and then make dua. Keep making dua for a long time, facing the qibla. Then you go to the second jamrah and you throw it 7 pebbles from any direction. Then you go to the left. And here on the left you could go as far as the bridge. So nobody would go through. And you make dua as much as you can, facing the qibla again. Then the last, you go to the last jamrah which you threw the day before, and you go forward without making dua. Don't stop after the third jamrah. Okay? You may leave Mina if you wish after performing the jamrah on the 12th day. Staying for the 13th is the sunnah of the Prophet. If you want to leave, you have to leave before sunset of the 12th day. Pitfalls of the Rami. Performing the Rami during the days of Tashriq before Zawal. It's supposed to be after Dhuhr. And performing, throwing the pebbles all at once. So 7 pebbles, Allahu Akbar. It's incorrect. Thinking that the pebbles has to hit the middle post. Putting the pebbles into the circles without casting. So let's say, for example, you go close to the circle. And you said, Allahu Akbar, you're dropping it. Allahu Akbar, it doesn't work, you have to throw it, to cast it. Casting more than 7 pebbles. Well, he's a big shaitan, and you give him another one. That's incorrect. Pushing and shoving, and throwing objects other than small pebbles, like shoes, sticks, umbrellas, large rocks. Allah al-Musta'an. Making tawkeel, deputizing somebody to throw on your behalf without a valid reason. Don't do it for him. Tell him to go, he's really used to go and throw, unless he's really incapable. Pitfalls related to Mina. Spending the days of Mina and their nights outside the Mina. Some pilgrims go to Mecca to perform Tawaf al-Wada' and return to Mina to do the Rami. To finish Tawaf al-Wada' after the Rami, not before the Rami. Leaving Mina before the 12th, correct. This is Mina at night. This is the old Jamrah. Can you see that? Look how many people. Now some people who used to watch here, okay, if you look here, some people, they throw from here, from this. How can they reach the Jamrah? They will hit the people. So when, in these days, 1992, when I went on the second floor. Oh no, sorry, the floor, first floor. I would avoid the second floor. It was really dangerous. I went, the first Hajj I went, and there was only one floor, ground floor. Second year when I went, there was the second floor. And there was a woman throwing, saying, Allahu Akbar. I said, sister, what are you throwing? I can't even see the Jamrah. Where are you throwing? In the heads of the people. Because she's scared to go, to stampede. You to be slowly. Yes, I've been hit more than once in those days. Not anymore, alhamdulillah. I was hit so many times in my head. Very bad. So the first day, on the day of Eid, you are in State of Ihram when you throw the Jamrah. So you're not allowed to cover your head. But on the following days, you are in your normal clothes. So I said to the brothers in the camp, guys, if anybody got motorbike helmets, take it with him. Because the stones can fly me from one side to another side. And people are ignorant. And it's dangerous. Allahu Musta'an. You just hope that there's no pebble going to your eye. That's the new Jamrah. That's all Jamarat in Mina. Can you see them? There they are. That's where they are. All Jamarat. Is chaos. People going like this. Chaos. And this is to Mecca. And this is the new Jamarat. Totally different. Can you see that? Totally different. You've got 5 floors. 4, round, 3, and then on top of the roof. 5 floors. Air conditioned. I said to them, if Shaitan was there, I don't think Saudi Arabia will put air conditioning for Shaitan. What you may see. But now I've got a very unique picture, 1953 Hajj. Look, that's the Jamrah. What fascinates me, the Coca-Cola. You seen that? Coca-Cola 1953? Make tawaf and get Coca-Cola. That's a very old picture. It's a real one. SubhanAllah. Very few people can used to make it there. Very few people. Huh?
And it's talking about back again.
Yes. SubhanAllah. Right. This is when the flood took place. This is when you're getting familiarized with yourself. This is boundary to say to you the beginning of Mina, end of Mina. Okay? So the other side of this says will say beginning of Mina. This one says end of Mina. So that means the picture is taken from inside or outside Mina? Inside Mina. Correct. Last day. Prophet said, don't leave Mecca until you perform Tawaf. And that is only the Hajj, not in the Umrah. Farewell Tawaf is called, and it's an obligatory on everybody except for the following 2 categories: people living in Mecca and menstruating women. If the menstruating woman stopped her menses before she left Mecca, then she could do Tawaf, the farewell al-Wada'. When you finish the Tawaf, you leave the masjid walking normally, not backwards. Prophet used to carry Zamzam with him. Now let's go to the summary. Hajj summary. First one, that is assume ihram for miqat on your residence. If you are inside miqat boundaries, clean yourself and take shower, put on 2 ihram garments, pray prescribed salah, and 2 rak'at miqat Dhul Hulayfa. Start your Hajj saying labbaik Allahumma bi Hajj, recite talbiyah, go to Mina on the 8th day. So this is Mina on the 8th day. Arrive in Mina in the morning, spend the day and night there, pray Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha and Fajr in their time with Qasr, but no combining. Leave Mina for Arafah after sunrise. So you're going to Arafah now, arrive, you're going to pass Muzdalifah, you go to Arafah. Arrive in Arafah ideally before around Dhuhr or on the 9th. Pray Dhuhr and Asr combined with Qasr early in the time of Dhuhr. Spend the day in supplication and remembrance of Allah. Leave Arafah for Muzdalifah after sunset. In Muzdalifah night, arrive in Muzdalifah at Maghrib or Isha, pray Maghrib and Isha combined with Qasr, sleep the night until Fajr, pray Fajr early in its time, then make dhikr, that is dua, leave Muzdalifah for Mina shortly before sunrise. Now, here we're still on the day of Mina, which is the 10th. Arrive at Mina in the morning, go to Jamra al-Aqaba and stone it with 7 pebbles. This is first tahallul, take off ihram towels if you wish. All restrictions are lifted except sexual intercourse. Take a shower and put a normal clothes if you wish. Slaughter your animal, shave or trim your hair. Go to Mecca for tawaf al-Ifada. Now this is going to Mecca and proceed to Masjid al-Haram, do tawaf al-Ifada before sunset. Do sa'i, did not do it in Umrah. Full tahallul, all restrictions lifted, go back to Mina. Coming back to Mina, you spend the 11th and the 12th if you wish, as well the 13th. Stone the 3 jamarat every day between Dhuhr and Maghrib. You may leave on the 12th after stoning and before sunset if you wish. And Mecca, last day before the Tawaf al-Wada', make the last thing that you do in Mecca and then off you go home. And I'm putting here Air France, I don't know why.
Back home.
Back home.
Medina.
This is the, now we come into the Hajj pillars. Hajj pillars are to be 5 things: ihram, standing, tawaf al-ifada, and spending the night in Muzdalifah for those who are not old and they are not women. Praying the Fajr in Muzdalifah. Some of the scholars have said praying the Fajr, like our Shaykh al-Albani, is to be a pillar. Listen, if you do it, you have to do it. And if you don't do it, your Hajj will be completely destroyed. And as for obligation of the Hajj, these are the obligatory acts of the Hajj. There are 6: ihram from the miqat, stand in Arafah until the sunset, stay overnight in Mina during the days of Tashriq, study the Jamarat in order, and shaving or cutting the hair, tawaf al-wada'. Some of the scholars, if you don't do it, they say that you have to slaughter an animal. Some of them say you repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. By which, alhamdulillah, we have finished talking about Hajj. And I could see the time now. Alhamdulillah, 7:20. I have slides about visiting the Medina, which is not part of the Hajj. If you wish, we go to the Medina. If you wish, have questions. Who wants to pay visit the Medina? Slide-wise. I'm not taking you on a coach. Who wants questions? Who wants nothing? So, what are your questions?
Yeah.
Medina? Who wants Medina? Put your finger up. You're gonna just put your. I need to count. I want you to count the fingers. Medina. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who wants question? 9. Who wants question?
I've got one quick question.
Another question later on. Just move on. If you have questions, that's questions. We'll start the questions. Don't worry, the question will be all together. Fine. What's the one?
In the week,
No, hang on.
we may visit.
Hang on. The question, you're going to open the door question. There's nobody. Don't cheat. Fine. You're visiting the Medina. I'll give you 10 minutes of questions. Sharp. This is the Medina Haram. Prophet ﷺ declared it Haram, just like Ibrahim ﷺ declared Mecca to be Haram. And you also said that it is a safe sanctuary by pointing to Medina. It is the land of the Prophet's migration. But brother, he wants to. Okay. You coming back? Quickly. And it's the people are the Ansar who supported the Muhajirun. It is abode of the faith. مأرج الإيمان إن الإيمان لا يأرج إلى المدينة كما تأرج الحياة إلى جحرها. It is entrance. There are guardians, angels. Neither the Dajjal nor the plague will be admitted to the Medina. It is a land of revelation. It has the following: the Masjid of the Prophet, Al-Rawdah, Masjid Qa'dah, Uhud, Baqi' al-Gharqad, and Uhud martyrs. Let's see. This is the Masjid of the Prophet. Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had said, أول مسجد أسس على التقوى. This is the one. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said in supplication, Oh Allah, make Medina as dear to us as you made Mecca. Or more. Oh Allah, increase in Medina twice the blessings thou showered upon it. Oh Allah, bless our Medina, bless our Sa' and make twice that blessing. Let him die in the Medina, the person if he can. So all these merits of the Medina talking about. طيب. This is the Medina. This is the Masjid of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is the Qibla direction. And this is the green dome which has been built later on to indicate the grave of the Prophet on top and underneath it. And this is the Baqi' al-Gharqad, the cemetery where the companions were buried, most of them. And Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman, all of them were buried in this Baqi' al-Gharqad. And this is King's Fahd, which is the main entrance from the back. And these are the sisters, the ladies section. And this is main hotel areas, but now the hotel is everywhere. Market area is being moved as well from that place forward. Religious places to be visited: Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ, Al-Rawdah, which is inside the masjid, the grave of the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Bakr and Umar, and the Baqi' al-Gharqad, which is the graveyard of the companions, and the Masjid Qa'dah, and Uhud martyrs. And it is neither an obligation nor a condition for Hajj to visit the Prophet ﷺ mosque or his grave. So these are the religious places to be visited. So your intention there to go to Masjid al-Haram, Masjid of the Prophet. But when you are there, you pay visits to the Prophet of Allah. Only once. Or you're coming back from a journey. The Baqi' al-Gharqad, the Masjid Qa'dah, pray to Rak'ah there, as we're going to see inshallah. Masjid Qa'dah, this is the one. Prophet ﷺ used to go to the Masjid Qa'dah on a Sabt morning and pray to Rak'ah. And in the hadith he said that doing this is equivalent to performing Umrah. Masjid Qa'dah is located about 2.34 miles from the Prophet ﷺ's masjid. Al-Masjid al-Nabawi, Salah in the Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ is better than 1,000 Salah elsewhere except the Masjid al-Haram. For verily Masjid al-Haram is 100,000 and Masjid al-Aqsa is 250 prayers. So in terms of between the Masjid of the Prophet and Masjid al-Aqsa, what's the relation? 4. Very good. So each prayer in the Masjid of the Prophet equals to 4 prayers in the Masjid al-Aqsa. Salah in the expansions of the Masjid has the same merit as Salah in the original Masjid. To pray out in the vicinity of the expansions, it's the same. Now this is the Rawdah. Now it's not anymore green carpeted, by the way. Alhamdulillah, it's not showing all that area that they made in Jazakallah Khairah. And this is where the Prophet ﷺ said, the space between my house and my pulpit is one of the gardens of paradise. Rawdah. So if you are able to pray your first 2 rak'ah at the masjid, in there, do it. It's very hard. It's always occupied, day and night. But you might, if you're patient, you place there, pray 2 rak'ah. Rawdah is always full and it's difficult at times to find a spot for Salah. This is now the pulpit of the Prophet ﷺ. Okay, this is where the prayer of the Imam he prays, and this is the room of Aisha. Okay, that's the room of Aisha. Can you see that? Which is the square inside. The room of Aisha. Room of Aisha, surrounded by this wall, which got no windows, no door. That's it. It's been sealed. Everything. Okay. Another wall has been as well done on it to make sure that no people when they pray, they can't pray towards the grave. This triangle. And then a third wall is being put. So 3 walls. On that big one is the building of the dome. The dome was constructed with a third one. Okay? Right. And there is as well a metal bar to make sure that there is nobody can go inside. Nobody can see the grave anymore. And that's the supplication of the Prophet of Allah. اللهم لا تجعل قبري وثنا يعبد. Oh Lord, don't make my grave to be an idol worshipped. So Allah had protected the grave of the Prophet by 3 walls. You find out the grave of the Prophet ﷺ, the first grave was being buried. After that, Abu Bakr, like this. Third one is Umar. Remember, the Qibla direction is that direction. And you only can see it, inshallah, different following inshallah slide, you will see it. This is the area they call it the Sufa, but it's not there anymore. It's finished. There's no Sufa. Sufa with the homeless, people who got no money, just to stay together. This is now on the second slide. You're going to see it, inshallah. See the next slide for this one. This is the gates. Now, people think that this is the Prophet, this is Abu Bakr, this is Umar. No. These are gates, nothing to do with the room of Aisha. It's all of them facing this gate. The room of Aisha is not a mansion like this, mashallah. Small one. Even the Prophet when he prays, if she's putting her feet, you have to nudge her in order for him to pray. That's how big the room is. Very small. So let's just see, it's 1, 2, 3. 1, the Prophet. 2, Abu Bakr. 3, Umar. So this is the relation of the grave. Can you see that? Now you know how the graves are lying in the room. طيب. So the Prophet ﷺ, let's put this one. The etiquette of entering the Prophet Masjid is in the same of any other masjid. Enter with the right foot, say the dua, and pray Tahiyyatul Masjid if you can in Ar-Rawdah. Walk respectfully with calmness, say the salam to the Prophet ﷺ when you get in front of the first big hall. This is the one. Then move to the next small hall, which is this one, and say salam to Abu Bakr. Assalamu alayka ya Abu Bakr. Third one, Assalamu alayka ya Umar. Radiyallahu anhu. These are repeating the visit the grave of the Prophet ﷺ and say the salam, but do not repeat the visit except if you came from travel. Journey. Prophet ﷺ, he said, Allahumma la taj'al qabri 'ida. 'Ida means people visit this every time. Okay. Repeating the visit, anyone can send salam to the Prophet ﷺ from anywhere. Some people, when they go to Hajj, but they go into Medina, send my salam to the Prophet. I tell them, always, I'm allowed only 20 kilos. I can't put the salam, but I make it heavy. So why don't you just say the salam from now to reach before me? People think that the salam is like a physical one. Next to the Prophet, Salaam alaikum. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. I say it here, and somebody said it at the same time, next to the grave, both, they're going to be received to the Prophet with the same way. In the same way. Angels, they're going to take the salam, convert it into barzakh life. The Prophet ﷺ. It's a barzakh life, we don't know how it is. And the Prophet of Allah is going to return as well the salam to each person. If it's a real life, how can you return millions of salam that passes on to you in 1 second? How many people say sallallahu alayhi wa sallam now? In every second. The Prophet will not be able to respond to each one. It's barzakh life, we don't know. Grave life. So why should we say that? Brother, say salam, Allah, send you salam from here. فَإِنَّ صَلَاتَكُمْ تَبْلُغُنِي حَيْثُ مَا كُنْتُمْ. طيب. Here this man, Abdullah ibn Hussein ibn Hassan ibn Ali, he found a man, he was coming to the grave of the Prophet. He said, oh man, Prophet of Allah said, don't take my grave as Eid, frequently visiting like this. And pass salutation upon me wherever you are. For verily your prayer will reach me. So you and a man in Andalusia, you know, the Spain, and a man and you here, and a man in Spain, it's the same. It's the same. Because you saw him getting ready for the grave and say, Muhammad. He thinks like it's going to reach him by words like that. It does not. Was in the Baqiyah. Okay, the Baqiyah is a cemetery where the companions are buried. He says, Assalamu alaikum ala diyar. من المؤمنين والمسلمين وإنا إن شاء الله بكم لاحقون نسأل الله لنا ولكم العافية. This grave was from the time of the Prophet ﷺ. They bury section after 7-8 years, they dig and bury a new portion. Okay? Baqiyah, this is Uhud, mountains of Uhud, this one, it's a mountain of Uhud. Okay? These are the people who are here, 70 martyrs were buried in this. Okay, 70 martyrs. Some graves are standing out, can you see them there? There. Yeah, they said it's a grave of Hamza and Mus'ab ibn Umayr. Wallahu a'lam. Radiyallahu anhu. This is the hill where the Prophet ﷺ put the 50 archers in the battle of Uhud. Here. To protect the back of the army. The army was here. And Khalid radiallahu anhu came behind these mountains from the back and attacked the Muslims. Once these 50 archers, 40 of them went down and left 10 on their own. They were vulnerable. Okay? So this is the last slide. Show you the Medina. Here is the Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. This is the Qibla direction. And this is the Baqiyah. And this is the entrance for the Baqiyah. Okay? And this is the mountain of Uhud at the back. Okay? So now, Salam Gate. You heard about Salam Gate? Yeah, Salam Gate. This is Salam Gate. Right, this is Al-Baqi' Gate. We come out from there. Any questions? Now, you've got 10 minutes. That's the Medina and the visit. But by the way, the Medina is not part of your Hajj. Hajj can be done without the Medina visit. Now, what's the question?
Question about being weak. I wonder if you can explain further. I know you said about
Weak means that a person is old, he can't walk. The women is all of them weak, regardless if they go to the gym or not. We call them weak. Women are weak. So weak. Women, with Allah. Children are weak. But the man has to be weak as in old, or his bones, he can't move, he's on a wheelchair. He's allowed to go. But as I said, if he's going to go walking, there's no coach to take him. The coach is only in the morning. So it would be better to wait until the following day morning. And he would go with the people, inshallah. Question from there he was asked.
I was saying, if you are in the state of Iran, are you allowed to use that face mask without prison?
You're allowed to use what? The apron? Mask. Thus, mask we said at the beginning, last time, is allowed for necessity, like the dust and hay fever and all of that. It's not prohibition. Men and women. Because women are not allowed to put niqab. But for necessity, yes. I don't understand what you're saying.
Especially when they are
There's an outbreak.
Don't worry, there's no outbreak flu there. It's one of it. Hocus pocus. Now,
in the state of Ihram, if a man was to enter a state of junub, does the same ruling apply as it is outside state of Ihram? So ghusl, and does the man have to change the Ihram as well?
can I ask you, can I say لبيك اللهم بعمرة ولا I'm state of janaba or not? I'm state of janaba. And I'm just now at the moment in the plane. I can't have a facility to have a shower in the plane. Unless, mashallah, we're living in a first class and we've got a shower and everything. So you're in janaba. Can you say لبيك اللهم بعمرة if you wait? Of course you can. It's not conditioned to have to be wudu or state of tahara to enter the ihram. Okay? Is that all right?
In Islam, when we perform salah, we say start with Allah Akbar instead of saying Dhuhr or Rak'ah. In Hajj, you have to pronounce and say لبيك اللهم حج إنما الأعمال بالنيات. Can't say.
When you say that, can I say لبيك اللهم حج in my mind? It's not correct even to say the prayer in your mind. You have to say it with your lips. So when you start the prayer, you say, what do you say, brother? I said, Allahu Akbar. What is Allah Akbar? I said, in my mind. Because I want to pray with him better. The intention is different. You're not saying intention. You're saying, like you said, takbirat al-ihram. This is takbirat al-hajj. I'm just saying to make it equivalent. Takbirat al-hajj. So this is takbirat al-hajj. It's not the intention. Intention is the one, I intend to make hajj this year with such and such company. Just like when you do the prayer, I intend to pray for rak'ah dhuhr behind Imam so and so, Ishaq, who lives in Northampton. That's it. So this talbiyah is labbaik Allah bi umrah. Say it with your lips, and you say it with word, because the Prophet ﷺ, when he said it with an audible voice. Labbaik Allah. It's not labbaik Allah bi umrah, no. After the labbaik Allah bi umrah, you say labbaik Allahumma labbaik after that. So this talbiyah of yours has to be done loud. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik Allah. Unless you teach it the people. Say labbaik Allahumma bi umrah. So when I want to say for myself, I will say labbaik Allahumma bi umrah. You're repeating behind me. But for me, I want to say labbaik Allah. That's mine. But this is for teaching. Sister's question. If a woman, she's not weak, does she have to leave early? Why does she have to? She doesn't have to, even if she's weak or if she is, mashallah. We said, I think this question came without, before we said about the woman go to the gym. The woman, she doesn't have to leave early. We said she may leave early. There's a difference between the two words. So if she's weak, she can leave early. But if she's not weak, she is allowed to leave early. Do you understand? Because she's a woman. So in both cases, she's allowed, but she doesn't have. It's not a compulsory upon her to leave. She wants to stay. She wants to stay. And most of the women these days, they want to stay because they're with their husbands and they're stuck with a coach. And as I said, there is no coach after midnight. That's the problem. You have to walk it. But some people, they don't like staying in Mina. That's something else. It's too much hot. That's not correct. You only push because of the fear of the stampede. And there is no stampede these days. Stampede is no way is in there. Jamarat is there, mashallah. It's like I call it runway. Runway. For planes. Not for human beings. MashaAllah.